Hi, and welcome back to part 3 of replacing the swing plate. Now we want to remove that little, guide right here, this white guide, and that's where we left that screw half unturned because it'll help us get this out. And there it is right there. I just pressed in right there on that little white plastic button, and it slides right out to you. Now if we removed that screw, it would have came out, or if we removed it halfway, it'll come out. What we need to do is we're starting to see the swing plate assembly. We're getting a real good visual on it, and this is one in my hand, and we actually have 3 screws we have to remove. One down at the bottom, one at the top right, and one way at the top. And it's going to be real difficult to get a camera on this. I'm going to do the best I can for you. But before we do that, we actually have to get this little white plate out of the way, which is right here. It's sitting on the bottom of the swing plate assembly, and I'll see if I can just put a marker on it, and it's white. And what we need to do is we got to kind of get that out of the way, otherwise the swing plate won't slide out of the way. And I like to take a flat blade, and we're going to get right behind here, right above this little brown plug-in, and we can get behind there, and we can actually release the top part of that plate. And you got to kind of stare inside there and work it with your finger a little bit. And once I get it, I'll try to bring the camera in to show you exactly what I did, and it'll help you out a lot. Okay, mine's out. It's got a couple little clips on the bottom and on the top of it. And what I did is I actually was able to press in on them and remove that. It won't come out all the way because there's some wires behind it, but you can see the top one right by my finger, and that's what I pressed in on. There's one also at the bottom too. By depressing those, you can push this out of the way, and that now gives us complete access to pull that assembly out. So let's go ahead now and remove the 3 screws. And of course, this is where you want that really good Phillips screwdriver that we had talked about, because we don't want to slip on these black screws. All 3 are black. I like to hold the other side of the frame as I'm doing this to really make sure I'm biting onto those. So I got one out, and you can look inside here and you can see the screws. Got one more down at the bottom part of that big white gear. Now the top one, you can actually remove the spring-loaded little toner lock, which is, I'm going to try to get you in a view. It's right here. See where my finger's pointing? Right there. This will pull down. It's got a spring behind it. Right behind that's the 3rd screw. So let's go ahead and get that 3rd one out now. It's going to be kind of hard because I'm trying to give you the best camera shot I can give you. I might have to move this carcass just for a second to get mine out. But again, if you pull down on that white spring-loaded plate, you can get this. You can get access to this screw. And this is really the probably one of the most difficult areas besides the actual installation. This one I put a lot of pressure on it to get that screw out. I don't want to strip these screws right now. We've done this in the past. We've had to Dremel the screws right off the tips of them. Okay, there's my 3rd. Okay, I got all 3 out now, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in, and I'm going to just wiggle it out of its socket, just like that. There it is. That's how you do it. That's how the swing plate comes out. And right now I like to, again, just air compress out the machine. If you don't have an air compressor, you can just use some canned air, get all that dust, that debris. And if yours is really severe, make sure that you don't have any of those particles on these white gears right here, these main drive gears, because you'll get a thump in your drive line when you're all done. So just kind of inspect it, make sure that there's nothing really severe in there like plastic particles. And then I'm going to blow this one out, and then we'll go to part 4, reinstalling. The reinstallation of this can be a little tricky because you're working the front of this in that little opening. And go ahead and get in there and kind of inspect that, and just to get a feel for how it's going to go back in.